I think I got it. Am I out?
Yeah, I probably have some because my teeth.
No, you're good.
No? Okay. My teeth gather.
I just washed my hands. You washed yours?
I washed my hands.
Doing right.
Hope I don't forget the recipe while I'm doing this.
We'll be alright.
I need a cue card guy who's got like the recipe up on a whiteboard.
That's the beauty of editing.
Yep. That's why it's not live. It's...
There'll be some voiceover that'll be like, not even like, oh, and then add time.
Yep. That's basically how it works.
It's really good.
Alright. This is my new... So this will be the intro. Now that we assumed we did that, but I'll just say my little intro.
Okay.
And so it's...
Okay.
So basically what I'll say... So I've been calling this Cooking with Mike. I'll say Katie with me, then we're going to make...
Cheesy braised beans on toast.
I might have you just say that.
Okay.
And then... I mean, that's kind of it.
Okay.
It's just like...
Okay.
Hello, welcome to Cooking with Mike. I'm Mike. Today I'm here with Katie, and we're going to make what?
Cheesy braised beans on toast.
So, hang out.
So, first off, we need to make some roasted garlic. So why don't we start by heating the oven up to 400 degrees.
Okay.
And so what I do when I make roasted garlic is I just take my knife and you take your garlic clove and you just cut off the top portion of the garlic so that you can see the cloves in there. And just kind of get rid of some of this outside stuff. And then yes, you take your aluminum foil, set it in your aluminum foil, take your olive oil, drizzle a little olive oil over the top of it, and then add a little salt and pepper. Even some salt and pepper we can throw on top there.
Do a little...
There you go. A little pepper, a little salt.
My family used to do this on the barbecue.
Oh, I love that.
It's like my absolute favorite.
That sounds fabulous. Okay, so then you just kind of wrap this up and throw in. I usually do like 3 or 4 at a time because you can always put this in your fridge and store it and save it for later. So then throw it in the oven, 400 degrees, and you want to put it in for 30 or 40 minutes until you really see it brown and caramelize, and it'll definitely make your kitchen smell nice and garlicky.
Yeah, the Italian aroma.
Exactly. So let that go, and in the meantime, we can get started on chopping some vegetables.
Perfect.
So here I have fennel. So for fennel, you just kind of cut off the ends. I usually cut it in half and then just pull off kind of the outside so that you don't get kind of the tougher skin. And then for this dish, I like to slice it really thin. You could use a mandolin, but I like to slice it thin so that it kind of melts into the dish and disappears.
Yeah, so it's not like an overwhelming chunk. It's just more flavor added.
Exactly. And fennel has that really nice kind of almost anise, licorice flavor to it, but it definitely milds out as you cook it down into the dish.
Which you either hate or don't.
Yes, so it could be...
It's like cilantro.
It is a little polarizing, but I do feel like in this dish, it's just kind of a background note and doesn't overwhelm. So if someone's not a big fan of fennel, it's not too overwhelming.
It's not like eating black licorice.
Exactly. And certainly you could leave this out and the dish would not suffer without it. So.
Do you know this is... I'm just going to throw in non sequiturs almost. Do you know the difference between this and celery? Or like is flavor... I mean, obviously flavor-wise, this is...
You could use celery, but I feel like I like the anise flavor to it. So for me, I like this, but certainly you could use celery or you know, another vegetable maybe that I like because it's kind of a white dish. I like something that's more white. I prefer that into the beans, but I suppose you could use something else.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You have really good knife skills.
Thank you.
So I like. So it's almost better that you're doing it.
Yeah, I know. Do you also want to do this?
I'll try. I'll do one scallop or
shallot.
Shallot.
Yes.
It's like what's the green onion is the scallion, right?
Yes, the green onion, scallion, and so these are shallots. And the reason I like shallots, so I have a son who, I'll let you get in here. Do you want to?
No,
You're going to take
do one right
this
here.
one. I have a son who isn't a big fan of onions, but I could definitely put some shallots into a dish and he will not complain. So if there's someone who, you know, if you want to get a little bit of that onion flavor into your dish, but you don't want it to be
Oniony.
too oniony, a
Shallots.
shallot is a great alternative. You could also, for this, the great thing about this dish is you could use all kinds of substitutes. So you could use you know, a regular yellow onion. If you do want kind of a stronger onion flavor, you could use green onions, you could use leeks. So just whatever you have, this dish is very flexible.
So what was your, I'm curious about this too, so I know that I'm kind of mimicking you. So you cut it in half, and then you start slicing that way?
Yeah, so then I slice this way to kind of replicate what I did here with the fennel, so so that the vegetables are similar thickness, and they'll cook down at the same rate. So yes.
Yeah, so this is your, not addition, but this is your, to get your son to eat this. So you really could, because I was thinking, I mean, grilled onions are like it's like grilled onions and grilled garlic are like my favorites.
Yes.
But shallot has its own nice flavor too, that like, especially with the roasting and the browning, it's like really nice.
It does. It really kind of caramelizes really nicely and adds this nice depth of flavor. So so it is something that you can throw into this dish, and then, you know, it kind of melts into it, so it's not something, you know, that
overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm slower, but got it.
Perfect. Okay, so we've got this all ready to go. We've got so what we're going to do now is we're going to start heating up the oil. Okay. So we have our Dutch oven here.
I'm sorry about our stove. I don't know if you know anything about stoves that are old. Jesus.
It's like camping.
Well, it basically is. This stupid switch is why.
Oh. But you know what? The nice thing about a gas stove is you just have a lighter nearby, and it heats up just fine.
And I've adjusted from the handheld where I would always burn my hair off to a longer one.
Good.
So we have a low flame, right?
Low flame. You're going to add in about 4 tablespoons of olive oil. So just kind of cover the base of the pan.
Are you comfortable with eyeballing?
Yeah, I'm fine with eyeballing. This is again another very forgiving dish. This is something that I know you and your wife sound like you've got kids running all different directions. So this is something at the end of the day that you could probably pull together pretty quickly without having run to the grocery store all that week.
That's key. So then it's covered.
So it's covered, and we just want to heat it up a little bit to get it started. And then what we're going to do is add in the shallots and the fennel into there and start to let those soften. So we could probably go ahead and start doing that.
Perfect. All right.
All right.
Go on in.
I'm going to grab it and just toss it in. All right.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, this is like a base.
Exactly.
You could go nuts with
exactly.
Like really whatever you wanted to add.
You really could. You could add a few more vegetables in here if you wanted. As long as everything's kind of cut up to about this size, because you don't want anything, you're going to put this on toast, so you want it to be bite-sized.
Right.
So we'll just let that heat up and go for a bit.
With these, right?
Yes, and that can be tossed.
Do you eat the stalk? Is that a thing?
Sometimes you do. You can take those fronds even and use them almost like a
garnish, right?
a garnish at the end of the dish if you wanted to do that as well.
I could see that.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on who you're serving. Sometimes I know kids, if they see too many greens in there, they might try to pick that off. So, so it just depends on who you're making this for. So those are going to start to soften, and in the meantime, we can also add some thyme to this dish, and you could certainly use rosemary, or you could just use a spice blend, or if you have a favorite spice blend. But the nice thing about thyme is you can just, you know how to do this, you kind of take it, you grab the stalk, and you just kind of run your fingers across, so you don't even have to do much other than that, and just kind of throw it in and add as much thyme as you'd like into the dish.
This is my favorite thing too, because I like people that don't, like, I have my consistence, that I normally use, but like thyme is something I don't put in as much, and like one of the other ones we use citrus, and it's just like stuff that I don't, like once
you might not necessarily have a fresh thyme on hand, but it is a nice thing to have because it does last a long time in the fridge, and it is easy to work with.
Like for me, it's just different flavors that I don't normally expose myself to. So it's like great to whatever someone else's consistent thing is, because then it's like, oh, okay, this is what I like, and then
I feel like we all kind of get stuck in our ruts or stuck in doing what we do and we know, and so sometimes just having the opportunity to work with something different. So why don't you take this and go ahead and add that? And so what you're going to do is you just want to like kind of pull it along and then just get rid of the stem. And then you can, the nice thing about these herbs is you can start to smell it, and it smells delicious.
Yeah, the herbs with the onions is just like,
I know.
They'll win.
Exactly.
Are you Italian? Do you have any?
I am not Italian, but my husband is. So, so I know some of these.
You know the smells.
Yes, and these dishes, I think, definitely hit the spot when it comes to him and my children.
So is that? I'm assuming this is all kind of to taste too, right? Like how
exactly. Yeah. So I think we're good here. We can just toss the vegetables around a little bit. You want to see them soften, and I like to get them to a point where they start to brown, because I think that adds a lot more depth of flavor to the dish when they start to caramelize a little bit.
I agree. I think caramelization or browning is like a flavor.
It is.
For lack of a better, or maybe that is the phrase.
Right.
It is a flavor.
And when you said you do the garlic on the grill, I think grilling adds so much more flavor too to any dish, right? So because you always get that caramelization, that smokiness. So,
Yeah. So like how you prepare it adds a different depth or what have you to it.
Exactly. So all you have to do is, I have 2 cans of cannellini beans. You could use northern beans or any sort of like white bean. So you're just going to go ahead and rinse and drain. Drain them and rinse them.
Drain. Okay. And then where are they going?
First we're going to add the roasted garlic. So we've roasted the garlic for about 30-40 minutes. You can see it's nice and brown and caramelized. So the garlic has roasted in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes. You can see it's nice and brown and caramelized and softened. It really kind of mellows out that garlic flavor. So if you have somebody in your family who doesn't really like the strong flavor of garlic, it really kind of caramelizes, makes it a little more sweet, a little more nutty, and just evens it out. And then what you can do with the garlic, which is really kind of fun, is you just take it. Now your fingers are going to smell like garlic for the rest of the day, but you can take it and squeeze it, and those cloves will just kind of come out, and they're nice and soft, and they will just melt down into the dish. So,
It's a nice touch.
It is. It is. And here's the thing, if you don't have time to roast the garlic or you don't have some just hanging out in your fridge, just use regular garlic and just chop it up nice and finely and throw it into the dish.
But your hands will also smell like garlic anyways.
Yes.
You work with garlic,
yes.
except the 3 days or whatever of not getting rid of it. Can I stir this?
Yeah, go ahead, stir that in. And then also we're going to go ahead and add some red pepper flakes for a little heat.
So do you have, I think I'm trying to get into people's old wives' tales too. Do you have ways to get rid of garlic smells?
So, I mean, I wash them really good or scrub them, but also I've heard if you touch like your sink or some metal, stainless steel will help to get rid of the garlic smell. But I actually don't mind the smell of garlic too much.
I know.
I actually kind of like it.
That's good, the dish.
Yeah.
I should add that again.
So I'm going to add some red pepper flakes, and again, this is just as much or as little as you want, depending on, you know, who you're serving and how much they like having a little heat. But the heat does add another kind of element of flavor to it, which I really like. So we're just going to kind of let that
continue
absorb. And then the next thing we're going to do is add in some arugula. So this is a nice way to incorporate some greens into the dish. I like arugula. It has like kind of a nice peppery flavor to it, but you could do any sort of green. You could do kale or spinach, just really whatever you like. And the nice thing about greens is you can throw a bunch in there and they'll just melt down and into almost nothing. So I'm going to let that kind of get in there and start to...
I don't think I've ever sauteed arugula. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Spinach is like spinach. The only way I can eat it is
it's sauteed.
Yeah, but this is interesting.
Yes. So this will act just like spinach. It'll just kind of melt down into there and
more flavor.
Yes, and yes, it does have a little more of a peppery flavor to it. So I think it goes nicely with this dish and adds kind of that Italian.
Yeah. I like it.
So now that has kind of wilted down, we can go ahead and add the 2 cans of cannellini beans into the dish.
Straight in.
Toss it around.
Do you clean as you go, or
I do clean as I go. I like to have, I like to have a clean workspace. And then, at the end, you don't feel overwhelmed by all that is there. And you usually have time in between. So as we sit here and wait for this to kind of soften, you could be cleaning up a little bit, right? So we're also going to add to this about 3/4 of a cup of vegetable broth.
Okay.
That'll help soften the beans.
And a little more flavor, right?
And adds a little more flavor, exactly.
Does it end up being, obviously I haven't seen this yet, is it going to be more runny, or does this end up cooking down so it like just absorbs into this stuff?
Yeah, so what we want to get to at the end is sort of a pasty texture. So we want the beans to soften, but you want it also to stand up on some toast. So you don't want it to kind of run over like a soup. If you added more, you could possibly make a soup out of this and make, a bean soup. But we're going to put this on toast, and so we want the final texture to be more pasty. So you just got to eyeball it and think about that. You might need a little more liquid, a little less. So just as it cooks down, we can turn the heat up a little bit so that it really gets into a simmering state, and then get those beans to kind of soften.
Since we have liquid in there, it won't just brown everything, it'll actually cook that into that. Right?
Exactly.
Right. That's interesting. We did, one of the ones I did was with a mushroom gravy, and she was saying that was, like, so much of it was a soup. Like, if we would have just added more liquid, that could have just turned into a soup. Which was really interesting. I was like, I didn't even think of that. So that's fun.
Exactly. Yeah, and you could even like take your immersion blender and make it a creamy soup or something. Yeah. So, and then you'd really get those vegetables in there, and your kids wouldn't know they were eating vegetables at all. That used to be my trick when the kids were little, is chop them up so finely that they wouldn't even notice there was a vegetable in there.
Yeah, my wife loves making soup. That's her big thing. But my one son only likes the broth.
Oh,
and
okay.
There'll be the soup, there'll be the vegetables at the bottom. He always leaves them. And it's like, no, you need more than just salt.
Yeah. Then I'd get out the immersion blender and just, make it all into just a nice thick broth.
Right. That's the way to do it. Yeah. It's all about those subtle tricks to get him to eat it.
Exactly.
Ranch is another trick that we've been able to
use. Ranch?
Yeah, ranch. He'll eat some broccoli with ranch. The other one will throw down on some cucumbers, though, which is, like, nice to just...
Oh, okay.
He'll just eat them. You know, like, it's not a force. Yeah, it's not a force. But he'll go through, like, a bag of baby cucumbers and say, all right, cool.
Oh, wow. Those are so healthy for you, too. You know, we could cut up this ciabatta bread right now.
Sure.
If we wanted to do that. So we're going to serve, because that'll probably take a little bit. I want it to, like... soften. So you could use whatever bread you have. I like ciabatta bread because it toasts up nice and crunchy, and with the creamy beans, it's nice to have kind of a different texture to it. So I just have a big loaf of ciabatta here that I'm going to slice up, and we can toast. Hopefully he'll cut out all of my awkward cutting.
You get one big swipe of it, it'll work. Yeah, you got that's the right knife.
You need one of those like serrated ones, Should I make really big pieces of toast, or do you want me to make it smaller?
I mean, either or. I'm good with, you can probably have those, right?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Because then if we're going to have to bite them, and then it would be insanely...
Yeah, it would be like really ugly to watch.
That'll be our teeth trying to go through that crust, and it'll just be all over my shirt.
No, maybe I'll just cut off the end of this so it looks a little smaller.
Do I stir this, or do we let it?
Yeah, you can stir it around just a little bit, keep it moving.
I think I don't know if that's just a thing where it's like you always just want to stir. Oh no, so it'll cook.
I'm gonna do this.
This is where smell-o-vision works.
Yeah, I know.
Classic.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is drizzle this with some olive oil, and then add some salt and pepper on top of it as well. And then we'll get it in the toaster oven.
And actually, you don't need that. We'll just go straight to parchment, and we'll put it on.
Oh, we don't need this.
Yeah, we'll just go straight in.
All right, so we'll take our bread and drizzle it with olive oil, and then a little salt and pepper on top.
Is the olive oil more of a taste thing, or is that a cook thing?
I like to, it adds some flavor to it, and gets it nice and toasty. You could also do butter. I do butter usually too. So just add a little pepper to that, and I'll sprinkle a little kosher salt on top. And you notice we haven't added a lot of salt to the dish yet. You know, canned beans tend to have a little salt in them. Depends on, you know, what kind of broth you're using, but that will have some salt in it, so we'll also salt and pepper at the end. Okay, so we can just put this in the toaster oven and get that started.
Let's see. Sure.
I'm gonna turn this down.
Are you a lightly toasted or what's your?
I like it. I like to see some toast, some brown on there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grate some Gruyere cheese and some Parmesan. So we're going to grate these up and get them ready to go into the dish.
Perfect. And we do them separate into the bowl, or we do it?
We can do them together. So, so I have about 4 ounces of Gruyere here, and I'll get this started. Sure. And then I don't know if you want to start with the Parmesan. We'll do about 3-4 ounces of Parmesan too. And again, this is a preference thing. I like Gruyere because it's kind of this nutty, mild flavor, but it melts so nicely into the dish. And you could use mozzarella or whatever kind of cheese that you like. And then I like Parmesan because it adds kind of that sharp, salty flavor as well.
Yeah, Parmesan is nice.
So I like
these are both nice.
Yeah. But yeah, you can certainly use some like a cheddar or some other, just whatever your family likes or whatever you have in the fridge.
Yep. Well, in this too, not that I'm big, but I like Goudas. Gouda's like
Gouda.
So I never get this one.
Yeah.
But that's.
I love Gouda as well. Yeah, so I think Gouda would be really delicious in this dish. So I'm also going to grate in, just put it all in the same.
So this is mostly, or if I were to classify it as something, it is kind of like an Italian style.
It is Italian style.
Theme and dish.
It is, yes, with the...
Because cannelli, right?
Cannellini beans, yes.
Yeah, aren't those mostly, is that Italian?
I think so.
Am I making that up?
I think you're right. I think...
I know my family does it, and on the Italian side, so I don't know if that's, one of those Chicago things where you just...
You just do it.
They just do it. I don't know if it's real.
Exactly. So, okay. So what I like to do before I add in the cheese is, as you can see, it's kind of browned a little bit, is smush some of the beans to the side of the dish so that you kind of get more creaminess and it kind of makes it into more of a paste. Yeah. So I just take my spoon, smush it onto the side, and, kind of once you get it to the consistency you like, we can go ahead and add in the cheese. So I've turned the heat off. And so the cheese will just go in, melt really nicely.
You're just mixing it in. So
just mix it in.
Blend in.
Yeah. And then we'll take some lemon to add some freshness. So we grab this lemon.
See, that's another thing. We use lime in the recipe, and it's like citrus is something that I don't use as much. But, we have...
There's something about it that, you can taste something, you think something's missing, and you know what? You squeeze in a lemon, and suddenly the whole dish comes together.
Right. Would you put it, is that like the same profile as salt? Right? Like, is it the acid is going to be like a bit of the salt?
Yeah, I think salt is a profile, and I think the lemon adds, acidity always brightens up a dish. Yeah. So you could use lemon. You could say you didn't have it on hand. You could use some vinegar or something just to add a little bit of brightness to the dish.
Yeah. I mean, brighter than salt, I guess I should say.
Yeah, exactly.
But in that flavor profile.
Yes. Okay, so at the end, I like to just salt and pepper to taste. Taste it, see if it needs anything. But at this point, I think we're ready to plate it up. Oh, wow, that looks fantastic.
Nice and toasty. All right. Just enough.
Okay. All toasty dish. And then just take your mince.
when you originally, or when, I think when you were sending this or whenever, I was thinking about, you could, I'm sure you have, or whatever, you could put an egg on this too.
Oh,
this
yeah.
Like a nice little.
Oh, and you could have it for breakfast. And
Yeah.
this dish does well where you could have leftovers, put in your fridge overnight, have it for breakfast the next morning. And then, you know, if you have people in your family that, you know, need meat at every meal, you could add, you know, some sausage on the side, or, you know,
Bacon or
chicken
ham,
breast or something.
yeah.
Yeah, bacon, ham, anything. So, yeah, it's a nice either side dish or a main, depending on who you're cooking for.
Yeah, and how much of it you eat.
Yeah.
You eat.
Yeah, right.
Do you want the big one? Or-
Sure. Okay.
So
Should we give it a shot?
Cheers.
Cheers.
And then it's gonna either be messy or
You might
clean.
need to use a fork and knife, or you can just dive in. Thank you.
Would you like a fork and knife? Are you good?
I'm good.
You're good, okay.
I think we'll just eat it like this.
Yeah, so this, like those cheeses are new. So, but those are like the first thing that I taste. I love the bread. Like in addition to this. I haven't noticed the punch of the arugula as much, but like, so I mean, not.
It's
where
not
normally
overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yes. Subtle garlic flavor. And again, the fennel just kind of melts in there. It's not a really strong, overwhelming flavor. I think everything in this dish kind of has just nice balance. And, you know, the creaminess of the beans is just so delicious.
Yeah, I don't even know. I kind of taste the fennel, but I feel like not really.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's just
kind of adds something to it, but people might not know there's fennel in there.
right. Another thing you could sneak in if they're not, if they swear that they don't like
Yeah,
it. It's
yeah,
like,
right.
Okay. Are you allergic? Or you just don't like it. Just
Right.
See what you know.
And then afterwards tell them, hey, you had fennel. And onion.
That was great. Except I have arugula
In your teeth?
in my teeth.
A little messy.
Is itself.
Oh, you're good.
I'm good. Okay. No, I mean all this. Not that I'm not trying to take away, but like I could easily see, you could just totally morph this. This is a good base. Like what I like is this is a base, and
Right.
you could easily
Add something more on top, like you said, some meat. You could make a sandwich. You could add more liquid and make a soup. You could just serve it and then have the crusty bread on the side and use it more like a dip. So
I could see that as a dip too. That makes sense.
yeah, it's a nice thing, and it's all mostly pantry staples. You
Right.
know, you can substitute wherever you need, and usually you have a couple cans of beans in the pantry.
Right.
So, yeah.
Which is what makes it key or whatever. Like, yeah, you could just throw chickpeas. I don't know. Because I think you originally said kidneys.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you could easily.
Anything that you can kind of mush up a little bit
Right.
and spread on toast.
No, this is great. Thank you.
Good. I've really enjoyed our time together. Thank you so much for inviting me over and letting me share this dish with you.
Thank you for coming by and bringing the dish. This is lovely. So thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And now we can smile really big and both have arugula in our teeth
Yeah.
and just end it like that.
Just zooming in on the arugula
And then
teeth.
cut to a commercial for floss
Yeah.
or toothpicks.